aftermath, city emergency officials found themselves pushed to their limits, with hospitals running over capacity, ambulances rushing to go from scene to scene, and the fire brigades desperately trying to put out the fires started from broken gas lines. After a national state of emergency was declared, international offers of relief assistance flooded in, which the New Zealand government hastily accepted. Monetary donations from the Australian federal government and New South Wales totaled 6.5 million New Zealand dollars and 1.3 New Zealand dollars respectively, and an Australian rescue force was immediately dispatched to Christchurch and the surrounding area. 66 members of the Japanese USAR, along with 3 specialists in search and rescue dogs, also descended on the city within 2 days, helping ease the overwhelmed local emergency services. Number 8. Armorero Tragedy. The Nevado del Ruiz stratovolcano in Tolima, Colombia, lay dormant for 69 years until November 13, 1985, when it erupted. The surrounding towns were completely caught off guard, and a massive amount of mudslides, landslides, and debris flow buried many of the communities, with their inhabitants now trapped. The floods traveled a staggering 50 kilometers per hour, leaving little time for people to flee. The town of Armorero took the full force of the mudslides, killing 20,000 of its 29,000 inhabitants. The most iconic footage and photographs of the disaster is of Omaria Sanchez, whose legs had become trapped under the debris of her home, leaving her submerged in water up to her neck. Efforts to rescue her failed, and it was determined that there would be no way to save her without amputation. To the surprise of onlookers, Sanchez remained calm through her ordeal, speaking to her rescuers and singing to them. She agreed to interviews in exchange for sweets and soda. After 3 days, Sanchez died from exposure, while her mother and brother survived. The Colombian government came under heavy fire after the disaster, due to there being many warning signs brought before the government but failing to act in time. Number 7. 2013 Southern Alberta floods. A fairly recent and personal experience for Top 15's writer Jonah Petruick. Southern Alberta, Canada was barraged by floodwaters as a result of seasonal melt buildup overflowing the river systems, topped with heavy rainfall. Residents of Calgary and the surrounding areas awoke on June 19, 2013, to discover the waters of the Bow and South Saskatchewan rivers had overflowed and created what appeared to be a lake swallowing the neighborhoods bordering the rivers. Mountain communities Banff and Canmore experienced massive river flow, resulting in rock slides covering the Trans-Canada Highway, forcing officials to close the road. The town of High River experienced the worst of the disaster, with the water levels rising over vehicle roofs and stranding over 150 people on their rooftops, requiring airlift rescue. The Alberta government issued a state of emergency, and residents unaffected by floodwaters were urged to remain in their home for their safety and to not impede with emergency